friend. Welcome to the Fruitful Fertility Podcast. Do you want to better understand your body so you can get pregnant naturally? Do you find yourself up late at night Googling how to ovulate on your own or natural fertility tips? Do you feel lost on what your next step should be? Hey, I'm Tori, a registered nurse, Christian fertility coach, and your new TTC BFF. When I started my fertility practice, I realized how much the modern medical system was missing when it came to supporting women trying to get pregnant. I knew God had called me to this space to bridge that gap and provide more natural fertility support and education. With time and a little trial and error, I found a foundational way to assess infertility cases and get better results. In this podcast, you will finally understand how your body and fertility work, support to stay off that emotional roller coaster, and a proven strategy to improve ovulation and increase your fertility naturally. If you're ready to get started, drop those ovulation sticks and grab a pen because, girl, you look fertile to me. Today's episode is really, really special. This is the 100th episode of the Fruitful Fertility Co. podcast, and I honestly cannot believe it. I cannot believe we made it to 100 episodes. It's just insane, and I'll talk a little bit more on that in a second. But I wanted to first just say thank you. Thank you guys for tuning in every week. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for just being a part of this community. I'm so thankful. I'm so grateful. I'm really in awe of how God has shown up in this space and I love it so much. So thankful to be here. We will celebrate this 100th episode. Not this week, and I'm not sure what, probably some fun giveaways, but in the coming weeks, we will do something to celebrate this 100th episode. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, come follow me there. I will likely be doing the giveaways there, and we'll do something fun, do something special. Also, if you have not done so, if you would take 2 seconds, pause this episode, leave a review here on Apple Podcasts, that would help me so much. It helps this podcast continue to grow and reach more people. So if you have found it helpful and meaningful, and it has influenced your life in any way, I would love for you to leave that review to help other people find the podcast too. So 100 episodes. I thought a lot about what I wanted this episode to be about because it is special. And then I thought, well, how did I get to 100 episodes? And the word that kept coming to mind was consistency. The only reason I got here is because of consistency. Well, and God, we know that, right? But I mean, the consistency is what got me to be a 1.5% podcast. It's what helped me find HTMA clients and get to work with you guys. And so I really wanted to talk on this topic because even though it's not like the most fun, the most sexy topic, it is the topic, it is the thing that will get us results. As someone who tends to jump from thing to thing, from idea to idea, to this to that, like I really am, I can get really kind of fickle sometimes and jump around and like what I'm going to be when I grow up and what I want my clothes to look like and how I want to cut my hair. But I can tell you that this is something that I have stuck with and been consistent in, and it feels so good sitting here right now on this 100th episode. And I want this feeling for you too, especially in your fertility journey. I want you to feel and see the benefits of the hard work you're putting in. So first, let's talk about what consistency really is. Consistency is not perfection. It does not mean that we show up every single day 100% all the time. It just means that on Monday we show up at 50%, Tuesday we show up at 100%, Wednesday we fall off, Thursday we get back up at 50%, Friday we're back at 100%. You know, it doesn't have to be this perfect linear line. It can be up and down. It's just that you keep showing up. You're not mean to yourself when, you don't hit your protein goal for the day, or you don't hit your steps for the day, or you didn't take your supplements, or whatever it might be. Consistency is just continuing to show up regardless of what the effort you put in looks like. So be easy on yourself. When I'm going through this episode and talking about consistency and the power of it, I do not want you to think that you have to be perfect. This does not mean perfection, okay? Consistency is also the seed that is growing underground. So I really love this analogy because what happens is if you want to grow a garden, grow flowers, whatever it is, you have a seed, you bury it underneath the soil, and then you cover it up with soil, and you can't see it anymore. And then we are watering it, we're making sure it gets sunshine, we're weeding around it, making sure nothing's overtaking it, but we still don't see anything for quite a while. So you can do all this work, show up consistently, watering, sunshine, weeding, all this stuff and not see any perks until that seed, the sprout busts through the soil. But underneath, that seed is breaking open. It's growing, it's growing, it's growing, it's getting bigger, and finally it pushes through the soil. So I want you to keep in mind that consistency is the seed. When you're doing, quote unquote, all the right things and it feels like nothing's working and nothing's changing, I want you to imagine that seed underground that is growing, even though you can't see it underneath the soil, because that is exactly what's happening. When we approach fertility from this natural perspective, really getting to the root cause and really trying to get in tune with our body, it is sometimes going to take longer. Now, this is, again, why I love HTMA, because I call it the fast track. We can get the answers we need. We can supplement specifically. We can come up with a personalized plan for exactly what your body needs. And that is really cool. The link is in the show notes if you want more information on that. It is a little bit of a fast track, but still, I like to be really realistic with you guys. I am not over here selling magic pills, quick fixes, or anything like that, because working on your fertility from a natural perspective, a holistic angle, is going to take time. It's going to take consistency. You're not typically going to see a change in 1 month. Now, have I had clients that that's happened to? Yes, I have, but that's not the typical, that's the unicorn, not the workhorse. So I just want you to know that this is, in my very biased and personal professional opinion, the right way to go about it. You're doing the right things. You're doing the hard work. You just need to be consistent, and it's going to pay off, okay? Galatians 6:9 tells us, "Do not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." I feel like that's pretty powerful right there. Do not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. So again, we know that our beautiful baby that's coming our way is in God's hands and God's timing, right? All we have to do is our part, which is taking care of our body, creating a safe space, really creating a safe space for our baby, but also for us, healing ourselves to the most healthy state so we can be the best mom we can be. And in the proper time, we will reap that harvest. So do not grow weary in your consistency in doing good and taking the steps, because God has got a plan and a story for you, my friend. Okay? So this is where I'm going to come in with one tough love snippet, one little tough love. So we talked about what consistency is, what it looks like, looking at it from a biblical perspective, but here's my one tough love caveat. Do not make excuses for why you can't show up, especially if you're making excuses just because you don't see the fruit right away. So I am like the president of the excuse club. I can make an excuse about anything, everything, why I can't work out, why I can't drink water, all the things. So I say this because I'm really preaching to myself, but I know this is where we really get stuck. We make excuses like, oh, I just don't feel like it. I don't feel like working out today. I don't feel like doing the HTMA test. And sometimes our excuses are monetarily, oh, I can't afford that. But again, it's not that you can't afford it, it's that you don't believe it'll work and you're making an excuse for why you don't want to do it. Now, of course, we all got budgets, right? It is 2025, money is tight. I am not saying that without like having respect for people's budgets, but I want you to look at the excuses you're making and analyze them. Are they true? Is it something that's truly a hurdle, or is it just an excuse? Because this was one thing I had to tell myself over and over and over to get to this 100th episode. I had to tell myself that consistency mattered, showing up mattered. Like if I was skipping episodes and you were tuning in on Monday waiting for an episode, but I just sometimes showed up, you'd probably quit listening to this podcast. And it wouldn't be, again, a 1.5% top global podcast. We wouldn't have this wonderful community. I wouldn't be here if you guys weren't listening, and I had to tell myself that it does not matter what your excuse is. You have to sit down and record a podcast episode. It doesn't matter if the downloads aren't going up. It doesn't matter if people aren't signing up. It doesn't matter if you feel unmotivated. And I just had to say that to myself each time. Don't make an excuse. Don't make an excuse, especially because I'm a routine person. Tell me if this sounds like you, or if you're normal and I'm just crazy. But I'm a routine schedule person. I have my paper planner. I live by it. I time block. So I'm going to do, like, my time to record a podcast is Friday at like 10 o'clock in the morning. That is my routine. Now, if something comes up and I can't, it really throws me for a loop. And typically what I do is make an excuse for why I can't do it, just because it didn't fall in my pretty little schedule. But I did not do that with this podcast. It didn't matter if it was Saturday night, Sunday morning. I think there was one time I did it Monday. Like I got up early on a Monday morning to release it because I try to release right at Monday at 6 a.m. Like I did it that morning. And it was late, but I did show up. And so as you're taking these steps, there's probably something you've heard on this podcast or in your research that you feel led to do. Something that feels like, I really do need to do that. And I'm going to give you 3 things I want you to do. It's going to be your 30-day fertility challenge, what I want you to be consistent in for the next 30 days. So if you don't know, I'm going to give you some. But let's just say there's something you feel called to do and you just keep making excuses for why you can't do it. We're going to let that stop here, okay? We're going to let it stop here. You're going to pray about it, make sure it's the right step, and you're going to go ahead and start being consistent. You're going to start it, whatever it is, and you're going to be consistent about it. You're going to go all in on it, okay? So that is my tough love. Don't make excuses, especially just because you don't see the fruit right away. So one caveat, or here's one little random piece of insight I would love to offer you. I typically, almost always, with my HTMA clients, and even just my conception connection clients, as we're working on health, like lifestyle habits and things that are going to help improve our fertility, I typically see that their periods become irregular. Something happens in that first 1 or 2 cycles where it's not a normal period. And it always throws people for a loop. They're like, well, I've been doing all things, but now my period's really weird. But it really is your body adjusting to these new habits. Your period is really a 5th vital sign. That's actually a book, and I cannot think of her name, Lisa somebody. It's a great book. You should read it. But our period's telling us. And so in this case, it would be easy to give up, like, oh, what I've been doing is throwing my period off. But really, your body is adjusting. It's been, it's learned how to live a certain way on less minerals, less protein, less whatever. And now it's adjusting to the new resources that you're giving it. So don't give up just because you don't see the fruit. Don't give up because you're not pregnant the next month. Just stay consistent. Do not grow weary, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. So for this 100th episode, this is going to be your 30-day fertility challenge. And I really thought about what could I dwindle this down to, like 3 or 4 things that you could focus on, that you could really hone in on for 30 days. I didn't want it to be overwhelming. I didn't want it to be the whole protocol from the conception connection. I didn't want it to be signing up for HTMA. I wanted it to be very simple, something you can listen to this podcast and start like right away and implement with no excuses, that would actually get you results, that you will see in 30 days that you feel different and that seed is growing underneath, and you're going to be consistent, you're going to show up, and you're going to see that your fertility is improving. Okay, so I mean these wholeheartedly, and if you will do this 30-day challenge, I would love to hear back from you. I would love to hear your input, how you're feeling, what you're thinking, all the stuff. But this is it, okay? This is what you're going to be consistent about for the next 30 days. Number 1 is a rise and source. If you have been around for any of these 100 episodes, well, not any of them, because I really only found Frequence in the last couple months, but I'm obsessed. I'm talking about it a lot because I cannot believe how much it truly covers. It supports gut health. It supports hormone imbalance. It supports detoxification. It supports nervous system regulation. Like all these pieces and parts that you're maybe go down these rabbit holes and you're like, oh, I need to work on this. Oh, it's my gut health. Oh, it's my nervous system. Oh, I need to exercise more. And you're feeling like there's just so many things you need to do. These 2 products alone are going to hit so many avenues for you. That detoxification, again, nervous system regulation, all these things that are going to improve egg quality. It's going to help normalize your periods, things like that. And I found that recently, like since I found Rise and Source with Frequence, that I'm actually recommending it to a lot of my HTMA clients even after seeing their test. So this is kind of like a skip pass, like your test may not necessarily call for that, but this is such a good place to start with because this could be exactly what your body needs anyways. So I also picked this because it's really easy to stay consistent because it's a drink and not capsules. I'm great at buying capsules. I have bought so many supplements, probably like you. Like I got a cabinet full of capsules I do not take, but I just bought because I thought they were going to solve all my problems. But with Rise and Source, I actually drink it every single day because I love the taste. It's easy. Like I look forward to it. It's my little treat in the afternoon. It's not a handful of capsules. And because I know I'm, again, hitting so many different avenues. I think that's another thing I love about it. Like, it's not just improving my gut health. It's not just helping me with hormone balance. It's not just helping me detox from, molds and toxins and things like that. It's doing so many things at once, which makes it really simple to stay consistent. So Rise and Source, that's linked below. I would highly, highly recommend starting that for 30 days. It even has a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if at the end of 30 days you're like, nope, I don't feel different at all, that was a waste of time, which I do not believe is going to happen, but let's say it does, you can get your money back. So that goes back to our tough love. If your excuse is the money, you can have your money back if it doesn't work. And if not, you're going to feel great. Number 2 is walk 8K steps. So I take it down a little bit from 10K to 8K. Makes it feel just slightly more doable. A little bit easier to stay consistent, but still a really great number of steps. So if you are someone who works in an office and it's hard, you sit at a desk all day, like me, it can be hard to get in your steps, right? But this is where a walking pad is going to come in really great. If you can get outside and walk, absolutely, amen, go do it. Go walk on your lunch break, walk after dinner, but 8K steps can take some time. And so that's hard when you have a busy life. Like, where do you fit your 8K steps in? And here's where a walking pad can make all the difference. A friend of mine was actually live on Facebook the other day talking about how she already had 5 miles in by walking on her walking pad while she's working on her computer. So I want you to, if that's something you need to invest in, or if, like no excuses, back to no excuses. We don't make excuses. I just get outside and walk and get my 8K steps in. Whether I got to do it in 3 pieces, you don't have to do it all in one sitting. So maybe you do 4K steps in the morning before work, and then you do 4K steps after work. Maybe you split it up and you get, 2K steps on your lunch break. I don't know, but make it work for you and don't make excuses about why you can't do it. Okay? And just be consistent. If one day you can only get 4K steps, that is okay. We are not looking for perfection, but the point is that you're showing up and you're doing it. If you can only get 10 minutes in, we'll get that 10 minutes in. That's still falling under that no excuses category. Like, hey, I don't have time to get 8K steps in today, but I can get at least 2, so I'm going for it. And you will see that shift, because walking, kind of like Rise and Source, I was talking about how it hits all the avenues. Walking is like that. Walking hits so many pieces of the puzzle. It helps with nervous system regulation. It helps with blood sugar balance. It helps you sleep better at night, which is a big part of healing. It really is a powerhouse. So don't sleep on walking, because it's free. You can do it anywhere, anytime, especially if you get a walking pad. I think I got my walking pad off Amazon, I don't know, for $130, something like that. You might could find something a little bit cheaper, some a little bit nicer, I'm sure, but get your 8K steps in. Number 3 is going to be eat 30 grams of protein at breakfast. So this is where I really wanted to be like, eat 30 grams of protein at every meal, but I'm only going to make you focus on breakfast right now, because again, I want this 30-day fertility challenge to be simple and easy. And so I want there to be no reason why you can't do it. So breakfast, 30 grams of protein at breakfast. A lot of times I see women not getting enough protein, period. So for those of you who have low progesterone and you're like, what can I do to get my progesterone up? You can eat more protein. Progesterone loves protein. So don't skip breakfast. I have a lot of people that say they're not hungry when they wake up, and they usually don't eat till lunch, or they just skip it all together, or they just drink coffee for breakfast. And I get it. I've been there too. I personally love to drink a protein shake in the morning. I get mine from Aldi. It's a brand called Elevation. It has 30 grams of protein in it. That's, there's probably much cleaner versions than that. I also use Equip Protein, but I just focus on not skipping breakfast. Don't skip breakfast. Eat you 30 grams of protein at breakfast. And if you need to take a shake for the day, do that. I have a good friend of mine here. She's not a fertility client, but just one of my good friends. We did her HTMA test, and I knew she needed more protein. She needed more calories. And so she started adding a protein shake in every morning. And even in a month's time, she was like, I feel so much better just adding in a protein shake. And that was it. And it's like our body really needs that fuel. Our hormones really need that fuel. And then this is like those are the 3 things you're going to do. And here's the one thing you're not going to do for 30 days, for one cycle. Don't chart. I don't want you to chart. I don't want you to find your fertile window, because I'm willing to bet you have been charting your fertile window for a long, long time. And you know the signs, even without the ovulation sticks. You're not going to miss it. I want you to trust yourself, trust your body. And I don't want you to chart this month. I want you to take that off your plate. So Rise and Source daily, The watermelon flavor is still available as I'm recording this episode. It could go out of stock any moment, and it's a limited time flavor, but I highly recommend it because it is delicious. But Rise and Source Daily, walk 8K steps. That's 8,000, so K means 1,000. And you're going to eat 30 grams of protein at breakfast. So you're not going to skip breakfast. You're not going to drink coffee first. You can drink your shake with your coffee, but you're not going to drink just coffee for breakfast. You're going to eat 30 grams of protein at breakfast, and you're not going to chart this cycle. No ovulation sticks, no temperature, no nothing. You're going to take a complete break from charting, okay? I want you to do this for 30 days and report back to me how you feel, okay? Consistency is not perfection. It's the seed that's growing underground. Do not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time, we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. And don't make excuses. Okay? This is all said with love. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for helping me make it to 100 episodes. Let's be consistent together. Do your 30-day challenge. And then if you're looking for more support, whether that be community and a more step-by-step plan, come in Conception Connection with us. If you're looking for that fast track, I want personalized results, tell me exactly what to do, come into HTMA bundle and you'll get your tests and your results there. But either way, I would love to help you. I'm so glad you're here. I'll see you next week. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If this episode touched your heart or taught you something, I'd be honored if you share it with a friend who could use the information too. And if you want to be the real MVP, then would you also take 30 seconds to tap those 5 stars at the bottom and leave a written review telling me what you're loving? It lights me up to know this podcast is really helping you. Don't forget, you're super cute and super fertile, so meet me back here next week and let's keep chatting and learning together.